Hi guys, and welcome back to Wisdom Daily. I'm the Wisdom Therapist, and today we're going to continue with our study of Carl Gustav Jung's The Red Book. So, hope you enjoyed this video. So, if you go thinking, take your heart with you. If you go to love, take your head with you. Love is empty without thinking, and thinking is hollow without love. I understand that this way. So, for you and your life. So if you go thinking, whatever you do, take your heart with you. So thinking without heart, thinking without emotions does not lead to great outcomes usually, because it's just plain without the essence of it. And if you go to love, take your head with you. And it also says that blind emotion is empty, and blind emotions is without that proper sense. Love is empty without thinking, and thinking is hollow without love. So these two has to be combined if you want really to have a beautiful life and to have the best experience of life that you can possibly have. Okay, I must learn to love. So it's like we have forgotten, or maybe it is that we have not been taught the proper way of loving, the proper way of thinking, the proper way of leading a great life. That's why we use these great quotes to improve our lives. You do not overcome the old teaching through doing less, but through doing more. Every step closer to my soul excites the scornful laughter of my devils, those cowardly ear whisperers and poison mixers. It was easy for them to laugh since I had to do strange things. So here you can clearly see that he's talking about doing more of the things that are inside ourselves and doing more to learn these new teachings, these teachings that um, he has been taking in his life. So every step closer to your soul can excite the scornful laughter of your devils. Why? Because I believe that we all have these devils in our heads, and not so much in our hearts, and it's something that has been learned. It has been learned in our lives, like fear, greed, all those bad things. So insecurity, um, not not being uh, not being very truthful to yourself and to your own soul. And it was easy for them to laugh since I had to do strange things. You can understand that from the way that strange things are the things that are alien to your soul. Whatever your soul feels right for you, that's what makes your life beautiful, because in a way, in a certain way, your soul knows what does she wants, because it's part of you. And if you can learn to listen to this part of your soul, then you are on your track to make a great life. I also had to detach myself from my thoughts through turning my desire away from them. And at once, I noticed that myself became a desert where only the sun of unquiet desire burned. I was overwhelmed by the endless infertility of this desert. Even if something could have thrived there, the creative power of desire was still absent. Wherever the creative power of desire is, there springs the soul on seed. But do not forget to wait. Do you not see that when your creative force turned to the world, how the dead things moved under it and through it, how they grew and prospered, and how your thoughts flowed in richer rivers? If your creative force now turns to the place of the soul, you will see how your soul becomes green and how its fields bear wonderful fruits. Again, we are with his relationship with his soul. So he had to detach himself from his thoughts through turning his desire away from them. So he has to move his desires away from his thoughts. And then he noticed that his self became a desert, where only the sun of quiet desire burned. He was overwhelmed by the endless infertility of this desert. So he felt that this place of emotion was infertile to him. Even if something could have thrived there, the creative power of desire was still absent. So he did not feel this creative power of desire and of our soul. Wherever the creative power of desire is, there springs the soul on seed. But do not forget to wait. Did you not see that when your creative force turned to the world, how that things moved under its through it, how they grew and prospered? So, mm, and your thoughts flowed in rich rivers. He's talking about the growing of your soul, and I understand that he's talking about the connectedness with himself to his soul. I too lived, which I had not done before, and which I could still do. I lived into the depths, and the depths began to speak. The depths taught me the other truth. In thus united sense and nonsense in me, I had to recognize that I'm only the expression and symbol of the soul, in the sense of the spirit of the depths. I am as I am in this visible world, a symbol of my soul, and I am thoroughly a serf, completely subjugated, utterly obedient. The spirit of the depths taught me to say, I am the servant of a child. Through this dictum, I learned above all the most extreme humility as what I must need. So, he said, in the beginning, he lived and was something that he has not done before. Usually, that means that we, in a way, are not feeling alive. Usually, most people go through the motions or in our lives, but we do not feel alive. And he says that he lived into the depths, and the depths began to speak. So he went deep. He went deep inside. And these depths taught him the other truth. A thus united sense and nonsense in me. He had to recognize that he is only the expression and symbol of the soul. He is the expression and the symbol of his soul. So he will, in a way, if he let it become the symbol of what his soul is. And the same holds true for ourselves, for you, for me, and for every other human being on this planet. And in the sense of the spirit of the depths, and he is in this visible world, and he is a symbol of his soul. And here he has learned the humility, and he says that this beautiful soul that is inside ourselves is like a a child that wants to play, and that's what we have to do. But society has ingrained us into not being who we are, not letting our soul shine, and we are only a cog in the wheel. And most people do not like that. And I feel that you, as me, do not like that. So, nobody can spare themselves the waiting, and most will be unable to bear this torment, but will throw themselves with greed back at men, things, and thoughts, whose slaves they will become from then on. Since then, it will have been clearly proved that this man is incapable of enduring beyond things, men and thoughts, and they will hence become his master, and he will become their fool, since he cannot be without them, not until even his soul has become a fruitful field. Also, he whose soul is a garden needs things, men and thoughts, but he is their friend, and not their slave and fool. This, that's exactly what we need. So, let's go slowly over this powerful word. So, nobody can spare themselves the waiting, and most will be unable to bear this torment, to wait, but will throw themselves with grit back at men, things, and thoughts, whose slaves they will become from then on. And it's the same as in the movie or in the book, The Fight Club. And we will become the slaves of the things. So if you remember, the things that we own ends up owning us. That's why I always say that it's important to bear in mind, what do we actually really need? Do we need that big house? Do we need that computer? Or what do we actually need? We need food, we need water, we need air, we need a shelter, and also most of the times we do need company. But the other things are optional, so we can say that we do not need them, but we actually want them, and that's a huge difference. So, since then it will have been clearly proved that this man is incapable of enduring beyond things, men and thoughts, and they will hence become his master. So, if we're incapable of enduring beyond these things and men, or the human beings and thoughts, they will become our masters, and we will become their fool. Since we cannot be without them, not until even our soul has become fruitful field. And he's talking about being like a wasteland, a field without fruits. It's a fruitless fool. So also, he whose soul is a garden needs things, men and thoughts, but he is their friend and not their slave and fool. So essentially, it's like choosing what we want to have in our lives. And this is a very powerful quote from Carl Gustav Jung, because he teaches us how our lives can become better by focusing on the things that we want, not the things that we need. So needing is one thing, and we need it, but wanting makes our life so if in our minds we make the things that we want, the things that we need, we will always be a slave to these things. Let's move on to the next quote, shall we? The spirit of the depths even taught me to consider my action and my decision as a dependent on dreams. Dreams pave the way for life, and they determine you without you understanding the language. One would like to learn this language, but who can teach and learn it? Scholarliness alone is not enough. There is a knowledge of the heart that gives deeper insight. The knowledge of the heart is in a book and is not to be found in the mouth of any teacher, but grows out of you like the green seed from the dark earth. Scholarliness belongs to the spirit of the time, but this spirit in no way grasps the dream. Since the soul is everywhere, that scholarly knowledge is not. So, again, a very important quote, very important passage. The spirit of the depths even taught him to consider his action and his decision as dependent on dreams. Dreams pave the way for life, and they determine you without you understanding their language. So it would be wise to focus a little bit more on this, our dreams, and to understand where are they leading us. One would like to learn this language, but who can teach and learn it. And he's talking about that schools and teachers cannot teach us that, but they can point us at that direction. So, for example, scholarliness alone is not enough. There is a knowledge of the heart that gives deeper insight. The knowledge of the heart is in no book and is not to be found in the mouth of any teacher, but grows out of you like the green seed from the dark earth. It's like, I understand there's a lot of fluff, and there is the wisdom of our souls, the wisdom from inside ourselves that grows outside of ourselves and is getting bigger, bigger and bigger, and it's getting better and better and better. So let's focus on our souls. Scholarliness belongs to the spirit of this time, but this spirit is in no way grasps the dream. Since the soul is everywhere, the scholarly knowledge is not. So our souls are eternal, and they're living probably forever, and they are beyond the things that we believe at this moment. So let's wrap this up. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom and some new perspective, new direction in your life. Wish you a great day and see you next time.